What starts as a dream getaway in the Maldives turns into a chilling nightmare. A real estate mogul, a secret recording, and a wife who knew too much. Stay with us as we unravel the shocking events that led to betrayal, murder, and a hunt for justice. The Maldives, an idyllic chain of islands where turquoise waters kiss pristine white sands and overwater villas float like dreams on the horizon. To an outsider, it was paradise. But for Leila Al-Farouq, it quickly became a gilded cage. She had traveled there with her husband, Dubai real estate mogul Amir Al-Farouq, under the guise of a romantic escape, a luxurious getaway from their hectic lives. Every detail of the trip was meticulously planned. Private jet, a villa with panoramic ocean views, and a staff trained to anticipate their every need. Yet beneath the surface of this perfect holiday lurked an invisible tension, an undercurrent that neither sun nor sea could wash away. Leila had discovered something that haunted her thoughts day and night. In Amir's private server, hidden behind layers of encryption and passwords, she had stumbled upon a recording. It wasn't just casual business chatter or trivial gossip. It was a conversation revealing illegal deals, shady investments, and threats against rivals who had mysteriously disappeared. Each word she listened to sent shivers down her spine. The man she had married, the charming, successful, and seemingly devoted Amir, was capable of unspeakable acts, and now she had proof. She spent hours at the villa's balcony, laptop perched precariously on her knees, transcribing the recording. The ocean breeze tried to soothe her, but her mind was a whirlwind of fear and disbelief. Every time the villa's door opened, she flinched, half expecting Amir to have discovered her secret. She felt trapped, caught between the paradise that surrounded her and the prison that Amir's presence represented. The contrast was striking, the sun gleaming on the water outside, palm fronds swaying gently, and inside, a storm of paranoia and dread. Leila knew she had to act carefully. One wrong move could cost her everything, her safety, her life, and any chance of exposing the truth. She secretly recorded her own observations and thoughts in a voice note for her best friend, fearing that if something happened to her, someone needed to know the real story. That evening, Amir returned from a business dinner, calm and composed as ever. He greeted her with a smile that didn't reach his eyes, poured her a glass of champagne, and murmured, "Relax, everything will be fine. We are here to enjoy ourselves." But Leila could sense the danger simmering beneath his charm. Every word, every gesture felt rehearsed, calculated. The villa, with its serene views and tranquil waters, suddenly felt like a trap, and Leila realized the nightmare might have already begun. Leila couldn't sleep that night. The villa, which had seemed like a dream only hours earlier, now felt like a cage. Every soft creak of the floorboards, every distant crash of waves against the stilts, sounded like a warning. She returned to the laptop, her hands trembling as she played the secret recording again. This time, she listened with sharper focus. The conversation captured voices she recognized, Amir and a business associate, discussing deals that crossed the line between ambition and criminality. There were mentions of bribery, fraudulent property contracts, and threats to anyone who dared question them. One chilling line made her blood run cold. If they become a problem, they won't see another sunrise. Leila realized these weren't empty threats, they were promises. People had vanished before, quietly, without a trace. As the night deepened, she meticulously transcribed every word, her mind racing. Each sentence revealed a layer of deceit she hadn't imagined. Amir's charm, his public persona of a loving husband and respected businessman, was nothing more than a mask. Behind it lay manipulation, greed, and a willingness to eliminate anyone who threatened his empire. Leila's fear quickly turned into paranoia. She had been careful before, but now she understood that even the smallest mistake could be fatal. She decided to send an encrypted voice message to her closest friend back in Dubai, detailing everything she had uncovered, while keeping the file itself hidden in an innocuous folder labeled as travel photos. What she didn't know was that Amir had been watching her digital footprint for weeks. Every email, every online transaction, every seemingly innocuous click on the laptop had been logged by surveillance software he had secretly installed. Her efforts to gather evidence might already have been compromised, but she had no way of knowing. The realization that the person she trusted most could be watching her every move sent a chill down her spine. By the time the sun began to rise over the turquoise waters, Leila had pieced together a disturbing picture. The villa's beauty no longer offered comfort. It reminded her that paradise could be a prison. She had the evidence to expose Amir, but she also had to protect herself long enough to do so. Every glance at the door, every shadow in the room, felt like it could be the last. The line between safety and danger had blurred, and Leila knew that the next move she made could determine whether she survived or became another silent victim in Amir Al-Farouq's empire of secrets. The third night in the Maldives villa was stormy, both outside and within. Dark clouds rolled over the horizon, and the ocean thrashed violently against the stilts. The wind rattled the doors and windows, as if the elements themselves were warning Leila of the danger that awaited. She could feel it in her bones. The knowledge she had uncovered about Amir had set something irrevocably in motion, and there was no turning back. Leila waited until Amir returned from his late business meeting, a glass of red wine in hand, his expression calm and practiced. For a moment, he seemed the same charming, composed husband she had known for years. But she noticed the subtle tension in his jaw, the way his eyes darted briefly to her laptop, where the evidence of his crime sat innocuously on the screen. Leila's heart pounded. This was the moment she had feared, but also the moment she had prepared for. With a deep breath, she confronted him, voice steady despite the fear coiling in her chest. "I know what you've been doing, Amir. I have the recording. I know everything, the deals, the threats, the people who disappeared. I can't ignore this." For a heartbeat, Amir said nothing. Then, a slow smile curved across his face, chilling in its calmness. "Leila," he said softly, "you don't understand. Some secrets are too dangerous to share." His tone was almost gentle, but it carried an unmistakable warning. The tension snapped like a live wire. Leila grabbed her laptop, intent on sending the recording to her friend, but Amir lunged, swift and forceful. The villa's luxurious interior became a battlefield. Furniture overturned, glass shattered, the storm outside echoing the chaos inside. Leila fought with desperation, every instinct screaming survival. In a horrifying twist, Amir's calculated strength overpowered her. He pinned her to the ground, his voice cold and controlled. "You should have stayed silent." In that moment, the paradise she had believed in became a nightmare, the serene waters outside reflecting a villa stained with betrayal and imminent death. As her vision blurred, Leila realized she had one chance. With trembling fingers, she hit the record button on her phone, capturing the final moments of their confrontation. Every word, every struggle, every chilling intention was now preserved, a silent witness to the horror unfolding. When Amir stepped back, the room fell into an eerie silence, broken only by the storm and Leila's labored breathing. But it was too late. Paradise had turned into a tomb, and the Maldives, once a haven of luxury, had become the stage of a calculated, fatal betrayal. After the storm had passed, the Maldives villa looked unchanged on the surface, pristine, serene, untouched by the violence that had erupted hours earlier. But inside, a chilling silence filled the air. Amir Al-Farouq moved with precision, erasing traces of the struggle, arranging the scene to tell a different story. To any outsider, it would appear as though his wife had met a tragic accident. He began with the most crucial step, the official explanation. When the villa staff arrived the following morning, Amir's face was calm, composed. "Leila slipped while taking a late-night swim," he told them, his voice steady, his tone practiced. The staff nodded, unsure why their usually charming employer seemed so unnervingly poised. Cameras had conveniently malfunctioned the night before, a fact Amir had preemptively ensured. No footage of the fatal confrontation existed, only a staged scene of an accidental fall remained. Amir moved with meticulous care, removing signs of struggle and hiding the laptop containing the recording. Every detail was considered, fingerprints wiped, blood smudges cleaned, and personal belongings rearranged. He even made calls to local authorities, weaving a story so carefully crafted that it seemed entirely plausible. At first glance, the villa seemed untouched, and Amir's explanation of tragedy was convincing. Yet, human error has a way of betraying the most meticulous plans. The maid, a quiet woman who had worked for the family for years, noticed small inconsistencies. She had seen Amir pacing frantically at odd hours, muttering to himself, carrying what looked like a heavy bag toward the edge of the dock. She didn't understand it at the time, but unease settled deep in her mind. Then there was the unexpected survivor of the night's events, Leila's phone. Despite being dropped and waterlogged during the struggle, it continued to record. Every heated word, every desperate plea, every moment of Amir's calculated fury was captured on the device. He believed he had destroyed all evidence, but technology had preserved a silent witness to the crime. When Amir left the villa later that day, he projected the image of a grieving husband, composed and sorrowful. But beneath the surface, The cracks had begun to appear. The recording, though hidden, was about to expose the truth. Paradise had become a prison, and the perfect cover-up was unraveling from within, one unnoticed detail at a time. The luxury of the villa could not hide the shadow of guilt creeping into Amir's meticulously constructed world. The world outside the Maldives began to notice cracks in Leila Al-Farouq's carefully curated facade. The recording, once hidden and almost lost, found its way into the hands of investigative journalists in Dubai. At first, authorities were skeptical. After all, Amir was a respected real estate tycoon with political connections and vast wealth. But as the audio played, the cold truth became undeniable. Every word, every threat, every act of calculated violence was laid bare. The empire he had built on charm, manipulation, and secrecy began to crumble in an instant. Financial audits soon followed, revealing hidden offshore accounts, secret properties, and suspicious transactions tied to missing individuals. Business partners started coming forward, anonymously at first, each adding pieces to a puzzle of corruption and intimidation. Social media exploded with outrage as the public learned the story of Leila's fate. The glamorous Dubai mogul, who had appeared untouchable, was suddenly exposed as a predator hiding behind wealth and influence. Amir tried to disappear, moving from country to country, attempting to evade the growing international manhunt. But law enforcement agencies across the UAE, Maldives, and Europe had already coordinated, tracking his every move. His luxury cars, private jets, and high-end villas were traced. Every step he took brought him closer to capture. The same resources he had used to hide his crimes were now being used against him. Finally, in a quiet suburb of Geneva, Amir was found attempting to blend in with tourists, a face of composure masking panic beneath. Arrested by international police, he was charged with murder, fraud, and multiple counts of criminal conspiracy. Courtrooms buzzed with anticipation as evidence of his crimes, meticulously documented by Leila herself, was presented. The audio recording that had almost been destroyed became the linchpin of the case, exposing the chilling reality of her final moments. As the trial unfolded, Amir's public image disintegrated. Witnesses recounted stories of intimidation, disappearances, and financial manipulations. The story of the Maldives villa became emblematic of his ruthlessness, a paradise that had turned into a tomb for Leila. In the end, justice prevailed, and Amir was sentenced to life imprisonment, a stark reminder that wealth and power cannot shield anyone from accountability. Leila's courage, her determination to preserve the truth, became a legacy that resonated worldwide. Her fight against deceit, corruption, and violence illuminated the shadows where crime thrives, proving that even in the most glamorous settings, justice can emerge. Paradise had revealed its darkest secret, and through it, truth and justice finally prevailed.